Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Unit 2.5 Notes, Day 1. Today we're talking about calculating the slope of a line. Our learning target today is to be able to calculate the slope of a line by using the slope formula. Okay? Now slope is the ratio of the vertical change and the horizontal change of a line. Okay? So it's the vertical change over the horizontal change of a line, okay? And something to remember is that what we're trying to find is the rate of change, okay? Now, if you don't know, slope, they actually found a variable for slope. I know it's not s. Unfortunately, it's an m. Be like, well, what's the m have to do with slope? I have no idea. Some guy made it up a long, long time ago, and he could be speaking a foreign language. But anyways, m, anytime you see the letter m, you got to think slope. Okay? So note, since slope is a ratio, okay, it's a ratio, we always need to reduce it. Do not write it as a decimal. It says it right there. No decimals. And remember that a ratio means fraction. Okay? All right, so the slope of a line can be found two ways. One, by using the slope formula, and two, by graph. All right? So if a line passes through x1, y1, and x2, y2, aka 2 points, then the slope of the line can be found by using m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Might be like, Mr. Grice, I don't understand it. So there's y2, there's y1. There's x2, and there's x1. And notice that every single time we do it, it's subtraction. Okay? So we're going to go through the slope formula first. So we got boom, boom, boom. There are 4 points. Now, anytime we're doing this, we just automatically always write down your subtraction first. Okay? Now I'm going to start filling in all the information. Okay? I color coded it. You can think of it by like going like -1 and 1, and then 2 and -2. Okay? And from this point, we just solve it. Okay, -1 minus 1, you got to be careful with your signs because that's -2. And 2 up minus a negative is actually adding. Okay? And from this point right here, you need to reduce. Okay? Always reduce. Very important. Okay? Now, another way you can do it is you can write a ratio of the vertical change, okay, the vertical change and the horizontal change between 2 points. And you'll hear us say this a lot, rise or run over, or rise or fall, blah, blah, blah. Rise or fall over run, okay? So let's take a look at the example. Same example, but let's graph those points, okay? So I've got -2, 1. So -2, +1, and 2, -1. All right, so there's our graph, or our line, the 2 points for the line, and now let's draw the line. Okay? Make sure to use a ruler and have it be nice, nice and straight. There we go. And always make sure to have your arrows. Okay? So, looking at this, is the graph rising or is the graph falling? Okay. It's falling, it's going down, so it's fall over run. And what you would do is you would actually count how many down, which is -2, over your run. So how many did we have to go to the right? And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, we said always, always reduce. So we get -1/2. And see how you can do both steps get you the right answer, but it really depends. Are you given the points or are you given the graph? Okay? So there are 4 types of graphs. Okay? The first one is a line that rises from left to right, have a positive slope. Okay? So anything that looks like it's going up is positive. Lines that fall, well, that was the example we just did, has a negative slope. Okay, it looks like the graph is going down. Our other two, we have horizontal. Okay, if we have a 0 slope, that makes a horizontal line. And we talked about in class that it's lying flat, like a lazy bum. Okay, the slope is 0. All right, and our last one is vertical. So if it's vertical, if it's up and down, there you go. Okay, it's undefined. So you would write slope is undefined. And the reason it is, it just can't be defined. The slope is so huge that no number is big enough to explain it. Okay, so these are the 4 things you kind of need to know. If it's a positive slope, it rises. If it's a negative, it falls. If it's a 0 slope, it's horizontal. And if it's undefined, it's going to be a vertical line. Okay? Now, let's go through some examples. The directions are saying to calculate the slope of the line through the given points by using the slope formula. Then circle the type of line the slope represents, even rising, falling, horizontal, or vertical. Okay. So every time we do one of these, you automatically want to write m equals, draw your fraction, and our 2 points. Okay? So y's go on top. Okay? Remember, this is y1, this is y2. So we got 6 minus 0. And then we have our x2 and x1, where we have -1 and -3. Okay? 6 minus 0 is 6. And -1 minus -3, click, click, -1 plus 3 is 2. So we get our final answer, 3/1, which is the same thing as 3. So is that rising, falling, horizontal, or vertical? It's rising. Okay? Because it's a positive number, we know that the slope is rising. Okay, let's set up our next one. And just remember our formula right here, that m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so we have -3 and 1, and then -2 and -2. So -3 minus 1 gives us -4. And -2 minus -2, well, that gives me 0. And if you try to put that in on your calculator, you're going to get something funny because you can't divide by 0. Okay, it's not allowed. All right. On mine, some might say slope equals 0, divide by 0 error. But when you know that something happens like that, it's going to be a special case. And we just talked that if it's undefined, it's a vertical slope. Or vertical line, I'm sorry. All right, number 3. Okay, -6 and -3. 5 minus 1. Now, all this stuff you should be able to do without a calculator. Okay? -6 plus 3 gives me -3. 5 plus 1, that gives me 6. And when we reduce that, we get -1/2. And that is negative, so it means it's falling. Okay, number 4. So 8 minus 2. Notice that every single time I automatically put in my subtraction signs, okay? So on the top, 8 minus -2 is actually positive 10. And 6 minus 0 gives us 6. And one thing that we said is to make sure to reduce. So what number goes into both 10 and 6? And that's 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we get a slope of 5/3. And that is what? Positive. So it's rising. Okay? Let's do one more together. And go ahead, let's set it up. Always put your subtraction signs in. So -4 and -4. 7 and 0. So we got -4 plus 4 gives me 0. 7 minus 0 is 7. And when we divide that out, it equals 0. Okay? It's not undefined because you can get an answer for that. So we know that that will be horizontal. And if you guys need to flip over and look at your little cheat sheet over here from the notes that we did, do it. All right. Number 6, I want you guys to pause the video and do this one all on your own. Good luck. Okay, and there you go. Now you get -9 over -12. You can divide that by 3, and you've got 2 negatives, guys. So when you got 2 negatives, that actually equals a positive. Okay, so there are 4 problems left. All 4 of these are on your own. Just remember, guys, you should automatically just write this down each time, okay? You need to do it so many times that I'm just gonna, man, I bet you guys wish you could do this. Be like, whoop, there we go. So smart. Oh my gosh, look, there's another one. Whoops. Okay. Edit. Let's do one more. See, I'm already set up for my next 4 problems. Are you? You guys are all on your own. Pause the video. Good luck. Okay, and there are the 4 answers. Now I kind of set everything up. I didn't show all of my work. So if you need assistance with that, because I've reduced some of those answers, please come find me or Miss Carranza, because we would love to help you out. Okay? Other than that, guys, that's it for Algebra 1, Unit 2.5 Notes, Day 1. Thanks for watching.